Now that former Minnesota Vikings legendary edge rusher Everson Griffen is now officially a former Minnesota Viking, the question is who's gonna suck up that power vacuum, who's gonna take over that role for number 97 in the Vikings defense. Now we're talking about on the field, we're not talking about leadership hype. I think it's a big opportunity for Eric Kendricks, but on the field, who's going to replace him? Well, the easy answer is going to be Ifeadi Odenigbo. Skull production value. Nah. But here are the 5 Vikings who are going to help replace Everson Griffen's impact on the field. So number 1, Ifeadi, right? We talked about yesterday. It is officially Ifeadi Odenigbo season. A bit of a holding pattern as Everson Griffen decided where he was going to take his talents for the 2020 football season. But as we said, I think that the Vikings did have a plan in place. They were okay letting Everson walk unless he re-signed for a certain price. They were okay with letting Steve Weatherly walk, go to Carolina. They were okay not reaching in the first round for a first or second round for an edge rusher, because they know that Ifeadi Odenigbo, 2017 7th round pick, was a star in the making. He was ready to go. Last season played 403 defensive snaps, career high, recorded 23 tackles, 26 pressures, 7 sacks. He's revved up, ready to go. Is a natural fit at that right defensive end spot. Was massively productive at Northwestern in college, and now he's ready to hit it. Like, he is a Andre Patterson success story yet again. Just Dre taking a mid, late, even UDFA guy and turning him to something extremely productive. And I think he's ready to start opposite of Danielle Hunter and just get this thing going. And I've said, I put on the table, mark my words, within 2 years, Danielle Hunter Ifeadi will be considered one of the best edge rushing tandems in the league. Believe that. So now we can just end this video now, but there is going to be some other snaps. There's going to be some scraps for some of the young guys getting in there. So number 2, a guy who's going to replace Everson Griffen, DJ Wonnum. Now, maybe I just love DJ Wonnum because he wears 57. Reminds me of Dwayne Rudd was not good, but I liked him. I don't know, it just made sense. But DJ Wonnum, 6'5", 258, 4th round pick, coming out of the University of South Carolina. Played both defensive end as well as stand-up outside linebacker for the Gamecocks. 3-year captain, made an impact right away, was a SEC all-freshman. 2019, his final season in Columbia? 4.5 sacks, 26 pressures, 70.8 PFF grade. He's long, he's explosive in the jumps, he's extremely agile, as well as very solid straight line speed, especially for a defensive end. So he's just another one of these mid-round athletic freaks that Andre Patterson gets to mold. Is it going to be Danielle Hunter? Yes, he's going to be better than Danielle Hunter. But I think it is going to be a Ifeadi show, especially on that right side to begin with. I think Wonnum will work in some sub packages. Maybe there will be occasion where Wonnum even kicks inside. He played a decent amount, like up in the A gap, which also makes me think that maybe he'll be an Anthony Barr replacement. Who knows, right? But Wonnum will be getting on the field as a rookie. Next up, placement number 3 for Everson Griffen this year, James Lynch, fellow 4th round pick. That 4th round is going to be legendary. Throw in Troy Dye, the linebacker out of Oregon. Baby, you got Stu going. So James Lynch, 6'4", 289, the junior coming out of Baylor University. Unanimous All-American, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, was just an absolute beast the entire season. Did terrible, amazing things against the offensive line and the tackles of the Big 12. Put up 41 tackles, 19.5 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks, and still unsure if he's going to be a full-time edge guy in the league. I do see him potentially as more of a hybrid, definitely kicking inside on some passing down. So either way, however he gets on the field, it's going to be great. Next up, number 4 guy to replace Everson Griffen this season, Anthony Never Settle Zettel. Like, Zettel should go get his law degree afterwards just because he's got a great jingle. It's like it's almost Better Call Saul up there. Anthony Never Settle Zettel. Anyways, 27 years old, former Penn State Nittany Lion, former Detroit Lion as well. Last season played for the San Francisco 49ers. Cool. 6'4", 258 pounds. Big season was 2017, starting opposite of Ziggy Ansah back when the Lions were actually sort of a thing. Started 16 games, racked up 43 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 43 pressures, as well as posting a 70.7 PFF grade, and then it was all downhill from there. But I think that I think his talents are wasted playing on the inside. I think that he is better as an edge rusher, and maybe the Vikings will rotate him in there in certain situations. I think he definitely could be an asset as a utility veteran backup defensive lineman. Lastly, Viking number 5 to replace Everson Griffen this season, Kenny Willis. Yeah, that Kenny Tryhard. I love him. The Rudy of the team, 6'3", 264, was a walk-on at Michigan State, worked his way on to scholarship for Mark D'Antonio and the Spartans. 2018, redshirt junior was his breakout season, 78 tackles, 20.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. Last season, his final season, East Lansing, 78 tackles, 10 sacks, 48 pressures, as well as was named their team MVP. Now, I hear what you're saying. What's a 7th rounder going to do? Ifeadi was a 7th rounder. All right, so don't count these guys out. Like, there is a very specific pattern going on. Like, Andre Patterson, he's not one of those defensive line coaches or co-regional defense coordinators who's like, I always need premium talent at the top of the draft. Now, don't get me wrong. If the Vikings had a premium edge rusher at the top of the draft, they would certainly take him, right? But he's like, give me these physical freaks. Give me some of these guys who maybe fell in the draft because they don't check all the physical boxes, but they're highly productive, or maybe the production relatively low, but they are physical freaks. You look at Danielle Hunter, you look at DJ Wanham, and there's like, bring him here. Bring him in. I'm going to coach him up, and we're going to go hunt. Because Vikings roster right now, there are 0 day 1, day 2 edge rushers. I just lied. No, there's 0 round 1, round 2 edge rushers because Danielle Hunter was a 3rd-round pick. Saved it. But you look also, even before, Everson, 4th-round pick. Brian Robinson, 4th-round pick out of Texas. Jared Allen, 4th-round pick for Kansas City, coming out of Idaho State University / the Culinary Academy, even though that was before Andre Patterson's time. But you look at Wanham, 4th round, Lynch, 4th round, Willis, 7th round. All of these guys combined, it's like, it's just going to be good. It's just going to be good. Like, there's so much talent and potential on this defensive line, specifically at edge rusher, where I would have loved to have Everson back for 1 year if the price was right. But also, with Everson back, I didn't want him to impede the progress of an Ifeadi, of these young rookies coming up. So it's actually kind of good. Vikings save some cap space. Ifeadi gets a chance to fully shine and show what he can do in essentially a contract year for him, and just get after it. So let's go. Get hunting. That's right, because the defense is going to have to play good, because I still have worries about the offensive line. So, all right, but your thoughts. The 5 Vikings going to replace Everson Griffen. Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.